Hello farmers and welcome back to No Man's Land in the class Lexian, harvesting our first field of oats. And behind us, I don't know who's in McCormick, but they're following us with the baler. And yep, we're making some straw bales. Frank Jr. though is the one in the Deutz. He is plowing up the bigger field behind us that was once canola. I'm not sure what's going to be next season. I still haven't thought about that too much. But that's what's going on over there. And in between episodes, yeah, I got the other canola field harvested, and that has been all brought on over to the pig mixer. And I was pretty close. We were just about shy of 100,000 liters of canola off those two fields, so pretty darn good. Also between episodes, I took care of the grass field. I went ahead and mowed it, picked up the grass, put it in the bunker, compacted it, and it is now starting to ferment. We got about 347,000 liters, so not the 360 that we once got. And looking at the field for the pH value and the nitrogen level in the grass field, it doesn't need any more fertilizer. So it could be my yield isn't as good because I got way too much fertilizer in that field. But now it's pretty darn close. So we'll have to see what the harvest will be, I think in October? September, October-ish, I think will be the next harvest time for grass. Somewhere around then. And I may be making hay again. Just because, like I said, I'm thinking about maybe putting down another sheep pen over here just to get our wool production up so we can go ahead and make fabric and, of course, make clothing. But today we're focusing on getting some of the oat fields harvested. I don't know if I can get them all harvested this episode, but we're going to try. We're going to see if Frank Jr. can get that field plowed in no time flat, and then we'll go ahead and plow the other canola field. But other than that, everything is running kind of smoothly. Everything's looking good. Everything's running smooth. The class Lexian definitely was worth getting just because with the 60-foot header and the longer pipe definitely pays off for me, not having to squeeze in at a certain angle to unload. So that's going to be kind of nice. It's going to be interesting to see how many liters of oats we get off these three fields. Everything here is going to be going on over to the cereal factory. So I'm hoping that we'll have enough for everything that we have. I think, if anything, the one thing I'll be short on is probably the grapes. When it comes time to the grapes, we'll probably be short on the grapes. Let me guess, because I got you running 60 meters behind, you're going to stop right at the end of the row and not let me continue. Are you actually going to go through? Oh, thank you for putting that bale right there. That's the only issue. Can I sneak underneath that? Sometimes you can. Yeah, we can. That's the only thing sometimes when you have a worker following you, doing baling and you're harvesting something, they tend to drop the bales, you know, right in your way. I'm kind of hoping I can get on down to the Mac Anthem, but I don't want to move the combine too much because I don't want to get the worker confused, like, you know, possibly running into a tree. Are you still working or did you quit? Nope, they rage quit. Alright, I was going to actually delete the trees, but that's interesting because you could have made it through there. You just didn't want to take the chance, I guess? I don't know. Let's go ahead and we'll get them back on course here. And of course, since I stopped, look at the pile of straw we left there. Let's go ahead and get this in line here. Let's see, Control H. Yep, I want you to follow the Lexian. And are you still doing 60 meters behind? You are. Let's see, who we got. Frank Jr. in. That might be Frank sitting in there right now. Yeah, this field here could use some lime. So, possibility we'll be buying that lime spreader sometime soon because the money's coming in. We've been waiting long enough for that spreader to come up for sale, and it's been like 12 years or so, something like that. So maybe it's time to go ahead and spend the cash. It's going to be about 100 grand for that thing, so it's not cheap, but it's something we need. And you know, we've been leasing that thing for years now, and I think it's time to add it to the fleet. So I was pretty happy with the grass cutting, other than, yeah, not the 360 that we once got, 340. But like I said, the good news is I don't have to take care of the field at all. I just got to go ahead and just watch the grass grow until next time. Maple syrup sale bonus time. What is the price of the maple syrup going for? It better be over 15 or 1600 per 1,000. Maple syrup. Where's the maple syrup? Right there. $16.40. That is a really good price, and that is the only place we sell the maple syrup. We don't sell the maple syrup at the No Man Land shop. We just bring it to the tent sale. So I don't know how much maple syrup we got, but we may go ahead and sell that. I do need to bring the eggs on down to the donut shop and also down to Bread Pit today. So that would not be a bad thing to do. After I bring the eggs down, we'll have the trailer that we need to go grab the maple syrup, and we'll go on down and sell that, bring a little bit more cash in. I did notice that we just reached the top of the hour, and my money didn't go up as much as it has been in the past for the few hours that we had. So I don't know if I'm out of material down to BGA. I thought we brought manure down, but listen, process that. Can I get in my combine, please? Thank you. Yeah, so I don't know what's going on there, but let's check while this is unloading our oats. Let's see, productions. And let's scroll all the way down to here. We're going to start seeing some reds. Let's see, what have we got into our bio grinder? No silage, no manure, and of course no sugar beet and nothing to distribute. And our fermenter 100, well, they got manure. Okay, we do have manure, and this doesn't have anything, doesn't have any electrical charge either. So that probably means our generators are not selling no energy. So the BGA is going to go silent for at least the rest of the month and the beginning of next month. But the good news is tomorrow at about noon, we'll have a whole bunch of silage to bring on down. And we'll get that processed, and that means hundreds of thousands of dollars will be going into our bank account once again. So, like I said before, our money issue, I don't want to say is completely solved, because we still need to buy many more things. But it's not like we have to wait a long time to be able to buy all those things. You're going to get stuck on the Mac Anthem, aren't you? Yes, you are. Hey, Frank. Calm down. I know you got a McCormick with a big engine in there, but can you not? Is he following me now? No, he quit. I mean, that's my fault, the way I had it all lined up there. Yeah, we'll get this again squared away. Frank has a very short temper. When something doesn't go right his way, he just quits immediately and heads back to his log cabin. So we got him, set him back on his ways here. Of course, who knows? It might be Mrs. Frank that now gets in here. I don't know. Whoever wants to get in here will get in here, and as long as we do the job. But now that I got a headland done, I can probably go back and forth a little bit easier. Wait, who are you following? Yeah, follow the class Lexian. Wait, what? Okay. Yep, we got a different worker in there now. Have no idea who that is. But as long as they don't rage quit on me, we're all set. So all this straw here, usually we sell it. But since we don't have much for straw this year, I think we're going to go ahead and store it all. Because the cows are starting to go through more because we're getting more cows. So I'm going to go ahead and put it all in storage. I mean, if I needed a little bit of cash, I could go ahead and sell all the straw that we get off the oat fields and the chicken field, which is our wheat field. I could do that, but really I'd probably get, I don't want to say just probably, I mean like $40,000 or $50,000 worth of straw, which is quite a bit. And also, yeah, we need straw for the pigs too, for bedding, and the pigs are going to start reproducing faster and faster, kind of like the cows were, but the pigs reproduce a little bit more. And that'll be kind of exciting one day when I'm not going to sell the pigs right from the pigsty. We're going to go ahead and get ourselves an animal trailer. Probably go ahead and just buy one at that point. And we'll bring them on down to the livestock market and sell a whole bunch of pigs. Yeah, we were doing that on the Pacific Northwest in Farming Simulator 19 when we did the $55 million challenge, paying out the $55 million loan. That was a bit of a struggle in the beginning of that series, but it was fun. I may do another challenge kind of like that in 22. but not anytime soon. I got way too much stuff going on to start another series. Maybe when this series hits like 150 episodes, maybe we'll cut back on the episodes of No Man's Land we do per a week and start another series on another map. But this is the one thing I liked about No Man's Land when it came out. In 19, we started to get to the point where we could put down placeables. We could do these, terraforming the land and all that. And that's what kind of made it kind of interesting map like No Man's Land. There's other maps out there, many maps out there now, kind of like this. But instead of just, getting a map that's all set out for you, from day one, the map is the way the map is, if that makes any sense. It doesn't really change too much. As you've seen here in No Man's Land, we just started with a little log cabin over there, and we put fields here, put buildings up, and I kind of like it that way. Kind of like designing my own little. I think we're almost a village. I think we could be classified as a village. I'm not too sure. We got office buildings. We got a little bit of a residential area, which I know I need to make another one at this point. And maybe we'll get to there next season. I'm thinking next season because I think we got all the production buildings down that we really need to have down. So maybe next season, with the money that we save up, we can start putting down more residential buildings, which we really don't pay for. But now we can kind of see the fields where we need them to be. I don't know if I want any more fields. I may just want one more over by the grass field. But I think I've said this before. I'm like, we could do, I finally decided, we could do more here. But I'm thinking just one more field. It could be a cornfield for making chaff or silage. And the grass field will be just for hay, for making TMR for the cows, and of course hay for the sheep over here. I've had a look at a couple of sheep pens that already have loaded up, but I really haven't kind of figured out if they would look good together with that one. I don't want to put down the same pen again because I think it'll look kind of weird. And I don't know how many sheep I want to go with. And we won't buy more sheep for that pen. We'll just take half the sheep out of that pen and move them over to the other one. They can start reproducing. So maybe if the big animal trailer comes up for sale. I got used to the modded one I was using in 19 when I think it held like 100 pigs, like 80 sheep, 60 cattle. I forgot what the base game one holds. But there's many animal trailers out there, so when it comes time, then we'll have a quick look and see what's out there. Just realized I'm almost full once again, so when I get to the end of this row, I think I'll go ahead and unload. Trying not to stop in one area when I'm still spitting out straw at the back, because I don't want a huge pile of straw. I'll keep hitting the tab button. Someone left the Mac Anthem running. That would be me. And did I miss that much straw when I was lining up myself? Probably did. The worker's doing a much better job than I am. And I got a little nervous when I started recording today because there were a couple of mods that were updated that we use. The auto-loading trailers mostly got updated, and the bale sheds over by the cow barn got updated, so I came in the game and all my key bindings were all wacko, but I forgot who it was, and I think I might know who it was, but I don't want to say the wrong name, but you'll know who it is. You mentioned that if you save the, if you come in the key bindings real script, if you save the game, exit Farming Simulator 22, reload it back up, and start it up, most of the time it resets, and yeah, everything was reset and back where it was. I think what that might be, if I remember correctly, in previous versions of Farming Simulator, when you downloaded a mod, you had to restart the game, and in 20, and asked you, would you like to restart the game because you downloaded or updated a mod. In 22, you just update a mod, and it's like, it doesn't ask you, like, you should restart the game. So I'm like, okay, we don't have to do that anymore. But I think from now on, anytime I update a mod or whatever, I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, update the mods, exit the game completely, and then restart it, and everything will be just fine. Hopefully everything will just be just fine. Looks like Frank Jr. is getting along rather nicely over there with the Deutz-Fahr, getting that big field taken care of over there. So we'll have plenty of rocks to pick up, which is good because I did use a good amount of lime in the grass field. Speaking of the Deutz-Fahr, where is he? Is he out of render range? Oh, there he is. Yeah, I'm like, course play is not known to get stuck. Now, I haven't updated course play in about a month. But it's one of those things, like I always say, if the mod is working, it's working fine to the way you want it. Sometimes it's better, sometimes maybe not to touch it. So I was like, course play is working the way I want it to. I got about another month and a half in game before I decide what fields need to be what. I mean, the chicken field, the wheat field is going to remain the wheat field. That's going to be it for the chickens there. And then as for the other fields, I got to see how the cereal factory pans out. And the pig food. So I got to figure out, are we going to have enough pig food for the pigs? Which we should, but I got to figure out, is it enough for a year and a half? You know, then I can figure out if I need to plant more corn, canola, oats. Those are the ingredients that we need for cereal and, of course, pig food. But I can always put down more fields because now we got 2 nice combines to get harvesting. So I could always have workers in one or both while we're doing other stuff. But man, this 60-foot header is really nice. Of course, I'm just remembering back in the day with the New Holland 770 combine that we had with a 12-meter wide. And 60 foot is going to be right around 20-meter wide, right? If my math is somewhat correct. It's in the area. It might be 18 point something meters. So the header is 3 times as big. So that means the job gets done 3 times quicker. But I'm starting to feel like in this series here I might start slowing down a little bit. Sometimes I was doing a lot of things off camera, but now I'm starting to think, you know, day by day we'll just start slowly growing No Man's Land into more of a village, try to get it to a town, then maybe, I don't know if it's going to get to a city or not. We'll have to see. We got the space for it. There's plenty of this map that I have not really used as of yet. But there's more things I want to add. I actually want to add, because we got the sawmill over here for making furniture. I want to put down another sawmill and make that as just a lumber mill making planks and selling the lumber that way. I think that'd be kind of neat. Alright, so I think I am done harvesting the oats in this field. You keep on following me here. Let me put out the pipe and let me go grab the Mac Anthem by teleporting to it. There we go. I'll come back around later with the McCormick and pick up the corners. But now the question is, and I think I've done it before, and actually no I didn't, because last year that was sunflower up there, so I lie. I haven't done it before. I'm going to try taking the header over the bridge to the other 2 oat fields. Actually, let me turn that off. And I don't know if I can do it without taking the trailer. I think I can. We'll see here in a moment. Shouldn't take us too long to get those 2 fields done. And then we'll have to head on down. We'll probably grab the McCormick because the T6 is over at the cow barn. Frank Jr. is still a little busy on that field plowing. So I'll probably take the McCormick and put on our loading trailer, grab the eggs, and bring it on down to our 2 pastry buildings donuts, and bread pit. Oops, I'm trying to make sure our worker stays up. Not watching the bales at all. Actually, let me go like this. I don't want to go too fast because the working speed of the baler is 16, so I want to get too far ahead of it. Because then it'll cancel out the worker. And this is why I put down bridges with no rails on it, so I can just drive right on over it. But now, like we did when I did the test with the sunflower / corn header on the Class Lexion, which it seemed to have no problem going up the hill, we might just leave the beehives here and add a couple more fields up here to add to our sunflower or canola production, or I could put down some, half sunflowers, half canola. And if I need the canola, then we'll put it into the pig food mixer. If we don't need a canola, then it'll go into the oil production. We'll be kind of interested to see how the Class Lexion goes uphill here with this header. But like I said, this will be the first time I've actually used a 60-foot header on this field here. Make sure our worker is still behind us. No problems with this worker. Maybe Frank was just having a bad day. That's what we're going to put it down to. I was really hoping to get over 300,000 in the bank account again. I mean, we're just about there. I thought I was going to have some extra stuff at the BGA and extra energy to go ahead and sell to get us over that hump. But I was not expecting in this in-game season to go ahead and buy a Class Lexion. I thought like, we'll just make the 9T work with the header. I thought I would have to sell the 12 meter wide corn header and get the 9 meter wide one, so it works out just fine. But yeah, the Class Lexion is having no issues with either or anywhere so far yet. Actually, we got a good amount of honey I need to bring on over. I may even put down more beehives as well. Because I should have spread out those beehives. I got the 2 beehives right next to one another. If I spread them out and put them 300 meters apart, then the radius of each beehive will cover a lot more area, and then we'll improve our yield for sunflowers, canola, or potatoes. Yep, looking real good here. Shouldn't take me long, just a couple passes on this field, and then the last oat field behind us. That's going to take maybe just about twice as long as this field, which isn't long again. Now we're in the last oat field. The trailer on the Mack Anthem is full, and the combine's getting just about full. And I'm trying to harvest in first person. And imagine trying to, in real life, keeping track of a 60-foot header. If I wanted to watch the left side, of course I'm not using GPS or anything like that. Most modern harvesters will probably be using GPS, but trying to keep track of the header on both sides, be shaking your head no most of the day long, just trying to keep track of where you're at. But I think most of the time they just keep track of right where it goes into the mouth of the harvester, the thresher. I think that's what it's called. I think they would call that the thresher. Keeping their eye on the belt, make sure everything's being cut where it should be cut. Well, I was just looking to see where I could possibly put more beehives down and trying to figure out. I know it says they increased the harvest 150 meters from a beehive, but I don't know if it's 150 meters across or is that from point of center of the beehive, so it's 150 meters all the way around, so it's actually a 300 meter radius. I'm not too sure. But I do wonder, because I do got developer mod installed on here. Whoa, my harvester is full. Wasn't paying attention. Alright, we are full here. Let's get out of cab. Oh no, I destroyed some of my crop. It's going to happen from time to time. Let's do that. Can I control... Is it shift F to get rid of that worker back there? I don't remember. No, wrong button. That's the way it used to work for Follow Me in previous versions. And Control F. Oh, it says H to dismiss worker now. Okay. Yep, let's go ahead and turn that off. Turn that off. If I come over here, I don't know if this will work or not. It's been a long time since I've done this, but usually you can see, is it F5? Nope, not that one. It's not that one. I think that might be the radius right there that we're looking at. Yep. That might be the radius of the both beehives. So right now, the beehives are... No, I can't be covering that far. Is it? Where did it go? Oh, I'm too far. Okay, now I'm in the radius. So it's only reaching this far. So I would say it's if it's a 150 meter radius, it's going to be 75 meters from point of center. So it's 150 meters across. So that beehive is only affecting this area right here of this field. And that's it. That's all it's covering in this field right here. I don't know how well you guys can see the ring when I'm in it, but you can see area of effectiveness right there. And it's barely covering this field as it is. I assume that's the correct circle. So 150 meters, if I'm understanding that correctly, that should be the right domes. We got two domes here. Yeah, so 75 meters from point of center all the way around. So these beehives are not really affecting our fields that much at all. Okay, let me go ahead and get rid of all these. Now we're going to see the grid on the ground. We don't want that. There we go. Everything should be turned off. Anyways, yeah, so... Well, the beehives, we need them anyways for the honey. So if they affect some of the field, that's great. They get what they get. So yeah, our full trailer of oats. Let's go ahead and bring that over to our cereal factory. And let's see, we got honey in the cereal factory. Now we'll have oats. We just got to wait on the corn and raisins. Corn will be harvesting, I think, in September. And I think the grapes will be November? I think. Now let's go past here. I want to see how Frank Jr. is getting along on plowing the field. Because when he's done that, we're going to hop in the Deutz Fire ourselves and go take care of the other canola field that I harvested in between episodes. Yeah, he's done. He is done. Now, I could have brought the T6 over and started stone picking. But I think the T6 is retiring just to working over at the cow barn. And sometimes over here at the sheep pasture. Doing the hay bales. So yeah, I still think I'm going to go ahead and get the 9R John Deere tractor at some point. We'll get a John Deere. I keep saying that. As for the fast track, I don't know if I'll get the fast track now that we got the Deutz Fire. The fast track I want to use, I have not seen that updated for precision farming. So I can't have the crop sensors on it, which is kind of a downer, but it is what it is. Well, we got oats, and we got honey. How come we can't make honey bunches of oats? I'm just asking. Where is the trigger here? Oh, never mind. Found the trigger. Yeah, we should be able to make honey bunches of oats, right? It's not the way it works, though. Yep, so we got... I only got 11,000 liters of honey here. I thought I had much more than that. How much honey does it take? Honey and raisins. So it's half the amount of honey and raisins for oats and corn. Boy, that is a lot of material just to make 60 liters of cereal. 120, 180. So you're putting 180 liters worth of material in it and getting 60 out. And cereal does not sell... I mean, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. But compared to other products that we're making, you think it might be a little bit better. Let me just double check on the cereal. So, yeah, let's see. What's the best prices of cereal? Best price is $2,600. For honey alone, I can get almost 1,000. Well, it doesn't matter because we're making enough. We're going to be making enough money here. I'm not going to sit here and try to figure out what is it worth us selling the honey and no. We're going to make cereal because we're going to make cereal. All right, I'm going to bring this on back over to our combine so we can get it unloaded. Next step, when I see you here in just a second, we'll be in the Deutzfahrer and subsoiling / plowing the other canola field, which will only take us a couple minutes. Then we're going to grab the McCormick, grab our unloading trailer, grab those eggs that we do have, and top off the donut shop and bread pit. Alright, the combine's been unloaded, so that'll be ready to go for me. I don't know if I'll get to that in between episodes or not. Maybe starting off next episode and finishing off that field here. The one thing I haven't checked on in a while, but it seems like it's kind of slow to react, is our environmental score. Just because we're subsoiling the fields and all that, and we haven't planted back into them yet, but I think the environmental score is kind of on a delay, which is good, because you don't want your scores fluctuating as soon as you do something, because then that would really, really hurt yourself. That's for darn sure. So I'm a little surprised about the bees. You know, I thought the radius would have said, 150 meters. I thought it was from the center point, but it looks like it's 150 meters, period. And yeah, I was a little shocked. I'm like, well, how far is it covering? I was like, wait a minute, I got the developer mode activated, so I can go in there and see where the radius is. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's only covering very little bit of our field, not a whole lot. So almost you have to take like a beehive and like place it like dead center in your field if you want to get the max out of it. And if we're getting like 10% out of those beehives for yield on the field, like I said, they're there. We got to get honey one way or the other, and maybe we'll change that around. So now I got that to think about as well. It looks like the weeds are already starting to grow in this field. We just barely harvested it about an hour and a half ago in game time, so those weeds need to calm down just a bit. But I kind of like the fact with precision farming being on, when I saw the rating zone, I was like, oh, if you subsoil, you get 0 score for tillage. I was like, oh no. But as we see, as long as you direct drill it afterwards, you get the max score on tillage. So we get to keep the weeds away. So I do got the spot sprayer for weeds, but if I plow the field, we'll never get weeds, so I won't really ever need the spot sprayer. Only occasionally, I think if I go in the field, if my score gets too low for the weed score, if I go in the field just for a second, turn on the spot sprayer, I'll get the max score back. Kind of cheesy in how that works, but if that's the way it works, I can't really change it, I guess. It's the way the system is. I do like the whole fact, though, with precision farming from 19 to 22, that we have an environmental score to go along with it. And if we do well enough, you get a bonus. So that is really kind of nice. The one thing I hope they bring to 22 here is the only thing I like better about 19 is the way the straw, hay, and grass decomposes over time. That is something I would like to see brought into 22. Other than that, everything else I do like the improvements on. But that is a big thing for me, and I don't know why. I guess it's like it to where... Oh, and I also like to have them bring it to where, like when we make hay, it's not just cut the grass, ted it, and it's hay. I like to, I like to have it like it was in 19 to where you gotta let it sit there for hours on end. So you gotta time it by looking at the weather and seeing, okay, if I cut the grass now, do I have enough time for the grass to dry to hay before it rains or whatever? I think it was Griffin, Indiana when I was doing the 2,000 cow challenge. And I think the first season we had cows, I went to make hay. I cut the grass, and the grass, after about 3 days, never turned to hay just because of bad weather in the fall. So I had a whole harvest that went bad. So that I do kind of like that aspect of it. But maybe Giants thought that was probably too much. But I guess they could, probably make that as an option where we can turn on DK as an option. Like you can turn on stones and lime and weeds. I'd like to see DK coming back. So if you left like a grass bale out in the elements, it's going to decompose faster in the elements than rather having it under a shed. And the same goes for straw or hay. And grass decomposes rather quickly in 19. So if you just do grass in 19 with seasons on, you want to make sure you're using it pretty darn soon. Okay, so these fields need to be stone picked. And I think, like I said, we're going to buy ourselves a Bredal spreader and put down some lime so we get a good yield off the fields. But I'm going to check our environmental score here in just a second. Last I knew it was 98, I think. But I remember when I first started precision farming, I wasn't seeing our score change too much. I did see a couple videos, and a lot of people are saying it's hard to get a score of 100. But we're at our max bonus anyways at 15% at the score that we have. Alright, I know I said before I was going to use the McCormick to do the eggs and selling of the maple syrup, but the McCormick has the baler on it and it's up there, it's in place, ready to rock and roll next time we're ready for it. So since we're in the Deutz-Fahr, we're just going to go ahead and use this. Lower that down and unhook it. Let me go back in here. Wait, is that saying our score is 100? $99, $99, 100, 100, 100, 100. I think we got a score of 100. All right. Oh, well, so, yeah, I didn't know. Last I knew we were at 98, so we're up to 100. So the soil sampling, though, I thought with our soil sampling, because we haven't done it in a while, I thought that score would have dropped some, which it probably is, but we're making it up elsewhere. So I don't know how we're getting an overall score of 100 when we don't have 100 in all of our fields. It's one of those things, don't ask questions, I guess. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Now, I want to see this auto-loading trailer because this is one of the updates that I just did today. I'm recording this on Tuesday. This episode goes out on Thursday. They said they changed the center of gravity. So now when I turn with this trailer, see, it's not flopping around everywhere. Nice work, guys. Nice work. Okay, well, it did there. But it wasn't as bad as it has been. It was really flopping around last time. Now, let me get the full pallets first. But I think they also said it won't overload as much as it used to, so I don't know if we can hold as much as it once did. Alright, donut shop first. We'll make sure that's up and going. It's not going to take... How many liters do we got here? Enough. Yeah, almost 19,000. I think the donut shop can only take like 7, so the rest will go to Bread Pit for making cakes. And whatever we can't get rid of at the production buildings, then we'll go ahead. Actually, I better turn that off. I don't want to be picking up any furniture pallets. The auto loader I'm talking about. Whatever we don't put in the production buildings, we'll go ahead and sell it to wherever it's needed or the best price. And then we'll go grab the maple syrup. Like I said, I have no idea how much maple syrup we got. And we'll go ahead and sell that. So right now we got 60,000 liters of oats in our cereal production. I just unloaded there, so it's 18,000 liters in the trailer. And I'll probably get another 30,000. Maybe. So maybe we'll get like 110,000 liters of oats off the field. So now that I know, if I can remember, the cereal production takes the same amount of oats as it does corn to make cereal. So I'll stick 110,000 liters-ish of corn in the cereal production, and the rest will go into making pig food. And I think we'll end up with more corn than we do oats. Welcome to the donut shop. Take the eggs that you guys need. I said 7,000, so we're going to stop at 12? Yeah, close enough. I will say though, with these tires on this tractor doing about 39 miles an hour down an asphalt road, I don't know if that'll be a comfortable ride or not. Alright, Brad Pitt may actually take all of these eggs. Because Brad Pitt does hold a lot. Are we full, or am I in the trigger? Production buildings, Brad Pitt's near the top. Eggs. Yep, we are maxed out on eggs, so let's go in here. Eggs. There's eggs, well, seeds, eggs. It doesn't matter. Let's see, 12, not the Big Red Barn, Bread Pit, Donut Production, Farm Shop is 1146, Lord of the Wings is 1130, Supermarket, all right, 1184, 1184, down to the supermarket to sell what eggs we got left. That'll be just a little over $3,000. I made up with pretty close to 3,500 along with our bonus. But it will put us over $300,000. Don't come down to the supermarket as much as we once did. I think the only thing the supermarket really takes now is the furniture. They always seem to offer the best price for furniture. I said 3,500. Am I going to be close here? Actually, 3,600 and 500 with a bonus. Pretty darn good. All right, let's go up and get ourselves some maple syrup and bring that to our little tent over or up here by the bridge. And here we are at the grass field. Just give you a quick overview because you didn't get to see it. I did it off camera, like I said. Now, if we come over here, you can see the pH value. We just put lime down not long ago, so that's lost a little bit of pH value, but it's still good. And the nitrogen still shows as perfect. Actually, it's still over quite a bit in some areas. So we're going to leave it be. Not going to add any fertilizer, digestate, any type of fertilizer whatsoever. Let me turn on the HUD in the upper left-hand corner so you can see we got 347,000 liters. Oh, it's not going to say because it's fermenting. But it's already at 5%. So pretty darn good. And I still got... How many liters over here? I still got 50 some odd thousand liters over here. Actually, I probably need to top off the TMR mixer. I probably should have done that with a forge wagon, but can do it later on. All right, let's go see how much maple syrup we got. Turn on the auto loader. I forgot how many liters are on a pallet. Uh, 288 liters a pallet. So maybe got like 3,000 liters here. Or 4,000 liters. So we got about 6,000 and change in maple syrup coming our way. This Deutschfire really gets around the map rather quickly, I think. I think it has the same top speed as the Fenton 1000 did. It's going to be kind of hard to see the total because the trigger for maple syrup is really close to that 10. You have to get, like, almost hug it to get the trailer in there. So I don't know what we had beforehand because I sold it little by little, but I think we're pretty darn close. So that was a nice little extra bonus today. Wasn't thinking I was going to be selling maple syrup, but there we are. And yeah, I'm liking the trailer update for the autoloader. It's not bouncing around as much. I mean, I can still make it do it, but I mean, you would think it would. An empty trailer going 39 miles an hour and you're weaving like that, it's going to do a little weird stuff. Home sweet home over there. And that put us up to $312,124. But we got a little bit more work to do here. Almost done actually with the harvest. That's going along nicely. We got the 2 canola fields already plowed. So yeah, stone pick, like I said, and spread some lime down. We'll get to that at some point here. We got about another month and a half before we get to planting. Which does remind me, we got our seed and fertilizer plant. Yeah, I'm going to put the trailer back where I always put it. I think, though, what I'm going to be doing over here for the barn as well, I'm just going to bring over our all-loading baling trailer and leave that over here. The only time I use a baling trailer over at the cow barn is when I'm doing hay, and it's not doing hay as often as I thought we would be doing, but, you know, that could change in the future when we get more sheep. You want to drop that off, please? Thank you. There we go. But a good amount of work has been done this episode. Like I said, we got these fields plowed, and we got 2 of our oat fields harvested. It's not going to take us long to get the 3rd one done. Then we're going to pick up the straw bales, store them on up. Not going to sell any straw this year. And then we'll get to plowing those fields. And then, yeah, we got to get these rocks picked up. Speaking of rocks, do I have room for them in the lime spreader? Yeah, I'm only like a little bit over half full, so we can probably... I can always make lime and fill this up. I think it's 90,000 liters it can have. And then I can always have a whole bunch of stone in storage. So, yeah, we got plenty of room for it. We're doing fine here. So we're making cakes. Let's see, how's the sawmill doing? Ooh, we're down to 17,000 liters in the sawmill. So that's good for about another month or so, month and a half. And, of course, furniture, we got plenty of there. Let's see here. Yeah, I got no wool, right? Yep, no wool. And nothing there. The dairy godmother, I don't have anything. Well, I got plenty of sugar in there. We're doing fine there. Everything's going fine at the Big Red Barn. Maple syrup. Our gardens, greenhouses are doing fine. No oil. Tons of sugar cane to get through. And the sugar beet that's been put over here. TMR is out of silage, but it's almost full. But so I need to top that off. Our BGA, yep, a little short in things, but we're doing fine in the donut shop for a while, which is good. Pigs, we got plenty of barley, canola. Wait, wrong one, corn. Barley, canola, sugar beet. I could bring some of that up. I don't know. It doesn't take that much sugar beet to make pig food. And it takes a lot of corn, so that's what we're waiting for. And let's see, what else we got for production buildings going on? Nothing as such. I still got a little bit of slurry to be processed. This is a slow processing to get to the fermenter, but it's going there. And how's our seed? And we almost got 10,000 liters of seed and 10,000 liters of solid fertilizer. So it'll be there when we need it. That should be plenty for another year, I think, anyways. So everything's looking good here. We just got to finish up the harvest, pick up the straw. Like I said, I already went over that. So we'll be probably doing that at the beginning of the next episode. And then we'll be going into the month of August. One more thing I probably should check on. Nothing in the store of real interest right now. So yeah, we're all set there. But that's going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the episode. I do appreciate you watching as always. I'll catch you again right here in No Man's Land. But until then, have a good one.